day. And gotta hope that you're okay, 'cause go by the beach and grab a coffee, 'cause we've still got so much to show. And coming together will help us grow.
G'day guys, and welcome to the first edition of the Be Better Than Yesterday, the Matty John Podcast. I'm very, very proud to have this person as my first guest, someone I looked up to a lot as a kid growing up, and I've been fortunate enough to join his new gym and become good mates with him. And I just want to welcome Mark Hughes. Thanks very much.
Matty, thanks for having me, mate. It's a privilege to be here for the first ever podcast, mate, so I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you very much, mate. Before we get started, I'm just going to quickly elaborate to everyone basically why I started this podcast. We're actually sitting here at Table 1 Espresso Warners Bay, so thank you very much to George and the crew here. Amazing coffee and food, and make sure you get yourselves down here. But basically, the reason I wanted to get this podcast going, obviously I do my photography and videography, my drone and camera stuff. I suppose in the last few years I've lost some really significant people in my life, one being my best mate to suicide, and a few other people throughout the last 18 months. So, I was just, since joining Air Locker with yourself and a few other little bits and pieces, I just thought, why not start a podcast? I've been on a few myself, and I think they're a great way, the way people are going these days. It's, put them on the gym or in the car, things like that. So, I thought, why not give it a go myself? So for you to be my first guest, I really appreciate it. Basically, the idea I had around it was getting those high-profile people that we look up to in society. At the end of the day, you guys are people as well, and you go through your struggles in personal life. So my idea was getting people like yourself on, talking about things that you may have struggled with throughout your life and how you've managed those things, to hopefully inspire other people that may be going through something similar, or will go through something that can help them in the long run. So that's what I'm kind of aspiring to do from this. So it's a big privilege to have someone like yourself on here.
Mate, it's great that you want to give back and you want to help people. You've had struggle. I've had struggle. Lots of us out there have struggle. It's I guess we just got to get through that struggle and come out the other side.
Thank you. I just for anyone listening that does listen to this podcast, I hope it helps in any way. For me, even if it helps one person, that's one life I've helped, and even yourself or other people who come onto the show as well. So the last few weeks since I've announced this, it's been unbelievable. All the amazing crew that we train with at Air Locker, and I really appreciate their support, and even my family and friends. It's been really humbling, and and all my mates at West, they've been unreal too. So, and like I said, Table 1 Espresso and Brad from Little Pigs Creative, it's been unbelievable. So, I'm really excited. So
I can understand you have an impact on people, mate, and I can understand why they will want to support you, and that's why I certainly didn't hesitate to.
No, you've been great. So from the moment I mentioned it to you, you've jumped on board and you've been amazing. So, let's get started. Mark, let's talk about your childhood, where you grew up, what type of kid were you, and a little about your childhood.
So a Curry boy, proud Curry born and bred. So I grew out there at Curry, had a younger brother, and I guess at Curry it was a lot of sport. We didn't have the beach and too many other things, so focused in on sport. Loved my cricket in summer, loved my rugby league in winter, and from a very young age, from 7 or 8, I really had a love for both sports, but particularly I think the rugby league. And right from a young age, I started doing some really great things that, looking back on it, were really key into where I ended up. And I think sometimes in life, we're in training for what's ahead, in a funny way. So the way you treat people, the way you deal with situations, all that stuff. You're training for what lays ahead down the track. And for me, as a young 8-9-year-old, I loved rugby league, so I'd have posters all over the wall. So there I was laying in bed, and the first thing I would see of a morning was pictures of all my favourite footballers. And every day I'm visualising being those people. And I did it every day, and what I was doing, I was painting a mental picture to where I wanted to go. And I think in life, we all dream, and we can dream at all different ages. You're never too young or too old to dream. And I was just lucky that I started to dream really young about something, and I was willing to live and breathe that dream. And I think that's a key as well, is that you can dream about stuff, but are you willing to get out of bed and do that?
That sacrifice.
Yeah, so I did that, mate, and I played rugby league. I was just a good club player, I was just battler. I was small, I was not that quick, all that stuff, but I just loved rugby league. In summer I was playing really good cricket, enjoyed that. But basically as a young rugby league player, I loved it. I was a good team man, but wasn't the star, wasn't making the rep teams, but I certainly I loved it, and it's important to find things you love, and I was lucky to find something I loved from an early age.
How good's that? If we were to get an old teacher of yours that taught you at school, how would they describe Mark the student?
I think someone that tried hard, not outstanding, but a good average student who loved his sport, I guess, and like to think that I was well mannered and all that stuff. But I was never outstanding at anything. I had to work hard, and I think that's what life's about, isn't it? It's about working hard. And if things come too easy, I find you let them slip. And we've all had it, those star young under 8 or 10 kids, 10-year-old kids, 12-year-old kids, the absolute stars of the team. Probably by 15, 16, more often than not, they're burnt out, or so that's sort
that
of how
expectation's
it's funny.
a little bit too high.
And I found out that in life we have the struggles. We do. In life we can have struggle. But for anything to be great, you need struggle in your life. And I know you've had struggle, mate. And most of us have had struggles. And you've got to get through that struggle. You've got to find a way to claw through struggle and do that, and things can be great on the other side. But I think people need to know that life's not always going to be roses, and you will have your struggles.
Yeah, and exactly right. And that's the idea around this podcast, is because you might be having a really good day today, but life can be flipped on its head in a matter of, it could take one phone call, and that's what happened with me with my best mate. Just one phone call, our entire lives are flipped upside down, and a few other bits and pieces that happen throughout my life too. So you're 100% right in regards to that. Hurts me to say this because we've got such a big rivalry, but Curry Bulldogs means a lot to you.
Yeah, sure does. So that was me, a Curry Bulldog. As a 15-year-old, the Knights 15s, 17s, and I would have loved a trial, but I just wasn't good enough to get a trial. So I was a Curry Bulldog.
Yep.
And just loved representing my town. Played in a grand final in 1995. I was 18-year-old, my first year in grade. Played first grade on the wing. We played West. Managed to score 2 tries, and that day sort of changed my life.
Okay.
It was a number 1 sports ground.
Would have been packed.
Everyone from Curry were there. It was a huge thing. Curry had won 2 premierships. I come in, we won it the 3rd, 3 in a row. It was a huge thing, and had a bit of luck that day, and that sort of started to transform my luck. And I worked hard to get that luck, and you've got to make your own luck in life a bit. And I felt like I got a bit of luck by being in that team, by scoring a couple of tries, which then led to some good things down the track.
Yeah. I suppose you just touched on it. You missed out on a lot of things, that 15 right through to the 18 age there. Can you talk about the psychological barriers, I suppose, to those younger listeners I might have, that how hard that was to miss out on those things?
Yeah, it hurt, I just couldn't get near it. So I had this dream, and I was willing to stick to that dream, but I was a long way off it. And I think something really good I did from the age of probably 14 to 18, and really it's a time when you can go lots of different ways as a teenager. I was making good choices, and I think kids these days, like all of us, our choices can be poor, and they shape your life. And little choices, big choices, all these choices add up to your life. And I could have went lots of different ways, but I thankfully was willing to hold on to my goal and my dream, and keep chipping away at being that footballer. And I think the wise choices I made for a young kid certainly helped me get to where I wanted to get to in the end.
Yeah. I suppose I've got a lot of friends of mine that have kids at the moment in that same bracket, trying to make it through the night system and things like that. And even on the weekend, I had one of my close friends, their son actually didn't get a contract. So those parents that are really trying to get their kids and supporting their kids, but they might get the knockbacks, what advice could you possibly give them to supporting their kids in that situation?
I think parents don't want to throw their kids into the one basket of sport, because it's a very tough to be a professional sportsman. So encourage your kids, give them opportunities, give them choices, and hold their hand through that process. And not everyone's going to make it, so you've just got to be supportive. And I think the thing that's most important is not how many tries the kid scores, it's are they a good young human being.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to create, is great people.
That's exactly right.
And that's more important.
Even on the weekend, I'm coaching the regional side for rep touch football. I'm doing the 18 boys, and I had over 30 boys come trial from all over. I'm talking out west, Central Coast, Newcastle.
Yeah.
I had over 30 kids come trial on the weekend, and that's what I was looking for. It wasn't so much the play, their ability, but it was how they adapted in a team environment. Were they respectful to me? Were they respectful to their teammates? And I suppose that's what, as a coach and even a teammate, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for people that are coachable and playable on and off the field. So, you could have all the ability in the world, but if you don't have the attitude that corresponds with it, that's not going to work, is it?
No, absolutely. And it's not just in kids' sport; it's in the workplace. Surround yourself.
It's a life skill.
Yeah, surround yourself with good people, and let the rest of everything else will take control of itself.
Yeah.
But the first thing you want to do is get good people around you.
Yeah.
And that's the same as when you're sick or you've got problems. Is surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah, I agree. So we've just spoken about the 3-peat Curry Bulldogs. Obviously, the next step from that was the Knights.
Yeah, wow! It happened really quickly. From someone that couldn't get a start to a 19-year-old that got a trial for the 21s in 1996.
Yep.
Had a good season. My first year at the Knights as in the under-21s. I was 19, but I didn't get a trial for the 1997 season. And I saw on the TV the news come on and that the Knights had started training, and I was like, wow, I thought I should be there. So I made a phone call because I wasn't willing to just let that go, and I said to the reserve grade coach, can I have started training and I thought I'd be there, and oh yeah, a bit of an oversight, I'm not sure what happened, but I got a trial. So got a trial for the 1997 season, snuck in there, and things just went amazing from there.
Yeah, what a season to get a trial.
Sometimes life's timing, and I had it was good timing. Super League was in, so some really good players in similar positions went to Super League, which opened up a few positions. I played reserve grade, and then halfway through the season got my first grade jersey, which was just a dream come true. Friday night it was raining against the Roosters, and once I got in there, they never could shake me. I from there.
That jersey meant everything.
Yeah, it meant everything, and quickly formed friendships with heroes of mine. Really, some of my teammates, and as a 20-year-old, I was just living my dream. And before I knew it, one Saturday afternoon, I'm on the bus heading down to Sydney, about to play in Newcastle's biggest ever game, the 1997 Grand Final. So, wow, it was a roller coaster.
I still get shivers watching it, and I was only a young boy, and I still remember it like yesterday. But it's a huge piece of Newcastle history. It
was, everyone still comes up and they'll tell you where they were that day, where they were watching it, and I loved hearing those stories. Everyone ran out onto the street and we're running on the road, we were doing this, and I just think, wow, it'd be awesome to actually have been sitting there watching that. It can't be everywhere. I was on the field. But, and I was happy to be on the field because that was what a magical thing to be a part of. Playing against a side like Manly, we hadn't beat them in about 18 games.
Yeah.
We had a heap of really young outside backs. We had some really tough forwards. The best leader and person in rugby league, Paul Harrigan, leading us.
Sure.
And a guy like Andrew Johns at halfback. You're always a chance of winning the game, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, come down to that last minute. Andrew Johns comes down the short side. Dummies the ball to me.
Unbelievable.
Give me the ball.
You thought you were in the corner?
I'm in, yeah. I was in, and then he gave it inside to Darren Albert. He ran around under the post and scored, and it was like in slow motion.
Yeah.
The euphoria in that stadium,
amazing,
between the team and the red and blue army.
Just all the different emotions, though. Like,
It was just 20-year-old. It was about my 10th first grade game. I just couldn't believe it. And there I was, premiership winner at 20. Played about 10 first grade games. Back on the bus, back to Newcastle Workers Club. It was. The town was packed.
That drive back into Newcastle
through Walls End.
All through Walls End there.
Magical.
I remember that.
And then street parades, pub crawls. Just the works. It was magic.
As much as it meant to you guys as players and a club, how much do you feel it meant to the town at the time?
We knew we were playing, for way more than just our team or the jersey. We were playing for the club. You're representing the club, and it's a fact that when we were winning, the nights we'd sell, there'd be so many more Newcastle Herald sold on a Monday. People just loved what we were doing. And you're just representing the whole community, and from grandparent, we'd see old people, young kids. It appealed to everyone, and it was a really great time to be in the Knights jersey.
And that's so much what the jersey means to this town. It's more than a jersey than just each weekend those 17 that run out represent the club. You're representing our city. It's really special, isn't it? There's no real other club like it, like the Knights jersey, really. Not to disrespect any other NRL club, but it's something really special that means the most. Like with the 97 grand final we spoke about, 2001. That's a little bit different, isn't it? Again, you've got a couple of years experience under your belt there.
I was 24, so I was 4 years or so in first grade, and it was the full competition, I guess. There was that always hanging over our head with the Super League split, so it was nice to win on that. But we played Parramatta. They were a red hot team that season. But looking back on the team we had, it's little wonder why we didn't, why we won. And the players right across the park are sensational there. And we come out and blew them away in the first half. There was 100,000 people there, 90-odd thousand people there. It was the first night grand final, and there we were again, and we've won our second premiership, 2 out of 2. And we get back to the stadium at about 2 in the morning, and the stadium was like, there was about 5 to 10,000 people, and we did a lap around the ground at 2 in the morning.
I was there.
Yeah,
I was there.
How good was that? So, just privileged to be a part of that, and we'll never forget. The support and the community, they made it so special. It's a game of footy and you win, but it's the reaction and the euphoria from the town and everywhere, the region, makes it so special to win a premiership for the Knights.
We've just spoken about the really positive things that happen in your NRL career there. Can we talk about some of the really hard times? You just spoke about that 97. You almost didn't get even a run-on contract kind of thing. So obviously injuries and things like that. They're really hard things, aren't they? Like to get an injury off the field, you're in the rehabilitation group, things like that. That can be really mentally challenging, can't it?
It definitely is, and I talk about the premierships and all the good times, but as a sportsman. And at any level, you have your downtime. You're going to get injured. You're going to be on the outer and all that stuff. So I had all that, and you've just got to try and keep positive, keep strong, and believe in yourself. And early in my career, I had no injuries. It was an unbelievable run. But towards the end, I had a lot of injuries. Hamstrings, neck breaks, knee reconstruction, all that stuff. So. Instead of thinking about the games you miss, you'd be grateful and think about the good times you had. So I'm blessed to have played around 10 years, squeezed everything I could out of my body. Wasn't the biggest, wasn't the fastest, but
you gave everything.
For my town, and I felt like I had a really close bond with the supporters. I talk about training for what's ahead. Well, I used to do a lot in the community. I got the Clubman of the Year about 4 times, I think. I remember Matty John saying, Hughesy, you know what it takes to get Clubman of the Year? And I thought, this is nice. Matty's going to give me a good rap. But he said, you've got to have no ability and you've got to organise all the piss-ups.
How good's that?
I didn't do that.
It's not a bad job.
So anyway, that was Matty's theory on me getting Clubman of the Year. But the truth was, I'd put my hand up and get out into the community and help. And I felt privileged to wear the jersey. And I just felt every day if I can go and make a difference to a nursing home or McDonald House at the hospital, I would, and I did that because I was just so thrilled and grateful to be part of the club and the Knights, and to be in a position where you can make a difference was special. So I was very privileged to be able to do that.
Yeah. Just before we move on from your NRL career, can you tell me probably one of your best stories that you had in your career?
Stories.
Something that really sticks to mind.
Sticks. Well, I tell you, I had lots. I think it was funny when I got in the State of Origin. We played paintball the first day I was in there, and you're out in the bush and you got all the masks and you got the uniform. No one really knows who's who. And have you ever played it?
Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?
And I was going around shooting. And
my best mate's old man got one in the throat the other day.
Yeah. So it was first day in camp. I was very nervous to be there, but I'm in there and I'm shooting away, and I get in front of someone. I pump a few bullets in, and he's putting the hands up, and I pumped a couple more, and I ran away, and then went up to the base 10 minutes later, and there's this bloke, and he's got his pants around his ankles, and he's icing up his groin. It was the coach, Wayne Pearce. Not a great career move.
No.
So that was a funny story. I guess another funny one was when Paul Harrigan fell asleep in the old Empire at Newcastle about 3 or 4 days after the grand final.
I've heard this story.
Yeah, and I helped out there. Chief sort of slumped on the seat and was in front of the toilet, and people needed to get in the toilet, so I was getting hard, so it was really early in the morning, so I went under and I grabbed the chief and I picked him up, and as I start to remember, he's much bigger than I was, and I'm trying to get him up.
I've seen you walking out like the air locker a few times.
Yeah, that's right. And everyone in the club stood as one and were like just clapping their captain as we danced our way out the door, and I lost balance actually, and thankfully I was clever enough to manoeuvre Chief to cushion my blow onto the footpath, so he wore the blow and I just landed on Chief.
I love
Don't tell him that.
No, we'll
no, Matty, but look, I enjoyed what I did.
Yep.
We all did, and I had a lot of fun doing it. We trained hard, and we also, I think it showed when we played that we were really great mates. And out of sport, you get lots of things, lots of memories, but it's those relationships and friendships that matter the most. And when stuff goes wrong, which I have down the track, which we'll talk about, they're the first people that were behind me.
I could not agree with you more, and that's why I wouldn't say pushing my two boys to go towards sport, but I definitely will gravitate them there, and wherever they choose to go, whether it's footy, soccer, I don't mind. But I look at my life now, and I reckon 90% of the people that are really close in my life I've met through sport, whether it's league, touch footy, soccer, anything like that. And some of my best friends, and like you said, through my hard times, they're the ones that have really helped me through all my stuff. So sport's just not so much sport, it's the socialisation as well, and the relationships you do build, and that's life changing. That's relationships for life.
That's right. So that's
more
important.
You see the air locker, all the boys come in, they train with us. How good's that? So that's the friendship.
Absolutely, mate. And you can play different levels, win and lose, but it's the bonds and friendships that everyone takes out is the best.
For sure. We'll quickly touch on it. You mentioned State of Origin. For me, greatest game of all.
Yeah.
What is it? What did it mean to you to represent New South Wales?
It was just enormous. Enormous thrill. Played 3 games, which I'm proud of. Did my very best. We lost the series 2-1. They brought Alan Langer back in the last game, I remember.
40
so cheating. But no, it was a wonderful experience, mate. And wow, loud, fast, hard.
Such a fast-paced game.
So you look up and there's 5 minutes to go in half time. It's so quick. So no, it was an amazing experience.
And just the physicality difference would be huge as well.
Yeah, it's the best of the best, and
Yeah.
The hits are harder and faster. But no, a great experience, mate. Probably even beyond their dreams, that one. But it was awesome.
Still an amazing achievement.
Yeah, for sure.
After that, you decided to pack your family up and move to France. Can you talk about that a little? How hard was that decision to leave Australia to go play rugby league over there?
Well, my last season at the Knights, I only played about 4 or 5 games and broke my leg, my ankle, and so it was time to move on. I was about 28 at the time. So the opportunity come for a new team playing in the English Super League, and they were from the south of France. So I thought, wow, what an opportunity that is. So we took that opportunity on. It was their first season. We played Wigan in the first game. I was lucky enough to be the first ever try scorer for the club. That was my little thing. Met some great people over there. couldn't understand some of them, the language barriers, but what a great lifestyle and really great experience. But you know what, by the end it was like we were ready to come back and start life again, you know, and really sink our teeth into living in Newcastle.
Yeah, I suppose going over there to play professional rugby league, but also being away from your family and friends back here in Australia, how hard was that for you mentally?
Yeah, look, you sort of, you know, you have 20, 30 teammates, so straight away you quickly form bonds with a new group of people. I think it's probably harder on, you know, Kira Lee, and we had a little one at the time.
Yeah.
You know, I go off to training every morning, come back at lunchtime or the afternoon, and all that stuff. So it had its challenges, but we were surrounded by some really nice people, and it was just a good adventure.
Yeah. I was talking to you about this morning. With your career, how hard was that being a dad as well? You know, there's so many, not just NRL, day-to-day life, there's so many of us that have children that go off to work or other curricular activities. How hard was that for you to be away from that, spend that time away from your kids?
Yeah, I think firstly, luckily, with my wife Kira Lee, very supportive in whatever we do to this day. Yeah. So I was lucky to have her by my side, and she knew she had to take the load. And you know, there's times where, Zach was crying at night, and she would attend to that whilst I'm sleeping and resting. And funny story, the day Zach was born, we were playing Sunday at Newcastle, so Kira Lee went into labour Saturday afternoon. So the labour went right through the night. So I was with her the whole time. We had Zach at like 5 or 6 in the morning. Then I went home at 8 o'clock, and I hadn't slept a wink. Laid down at home for 2 hours. Went to the game. Now this shows that what you can do when you're feeling great and when you're feeling on a high. So I'm on no sleep, and I'm going to play a first grade game at fullback. I think it was, I can't remember. But scored 3 tries.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Just on raw emotion and just happy, and so that was an interesting preparation. But so that was a good experience.
There's no greater feeling than that for your first, isn't it? I remember my first fling, and just it's the same thing, long labour, but that adrenaline rush, and it's just this moment, and you're just like, wow, how special is that? You can't describe it to anyone until you've experienced it yourself.
It was amazing, and I rushed back up to hospital, and did you see it? Did you see the game, Kira Lee? And she goes, no, poor thing didn't watch it, and she was tired and done all the hard work, and then the Herald comes up, and I'll get a photo, and Kira Lee didn't want to go on because she was not feeling the best, and we got the nice front page photo with the headline of 1, 2, 3 tries a baby. A really nice memory we got. So.
That's really special, isn't it?
You talked about my stories. That's probably my favourite.
Yeah, for sure. Something that means so much to you. Okay, moving back to Australia, open up a commercial cleaning business. Yeah,
so came back and was quite excited to be back in the real world and back to Newcastle, and found myself into a commercial cleaning and maintenance company, which was quite interesting, and didn't know nothing about it, but quickly developed that. And you learn so much out of sport, you know, about teamwork, work ethic, consistency, all those things that I'd learned in rugby league, I took into in my business. And I also was working extremely hard there for a while, and I think I was doing that because things were going to change for me down the track, and I wasn't going to be able to work full time. So it was a really good 6 or 8 years there, where I did that, and it was just a part of my journey.
Okay. I suppose coming from a professional athlete, going into the workforce, how hard was that to adapt to? That would have been really hard to go from, you know, going to training, you know, playing footy. You love the game so much. And when that time comes, and that's finished for you, and you're basically starting a new life, how hard is that to walk away from? And you know,
I think as a sportsman, as a Knights player, you'd have a lot of highs and lows, you know, big highs and some lows as well, and so it's not your average job. So when to come back to a level playing field of a normal job, and
just a lot in society.
A lot of people struggle. A lot of players, my teammates, have struggled with that. But I was ready for it. Like I said, I had a few injuries for a few years towards the end, so that I think that made it a bit easier for me. And
I spoke to you about this last week. last Friday I did the air locker session, and I wore the beanie the whole time.
Yeah.
And I wore my Knights jersey. But the reason why I did that was because the night before, I was just doing a little bit of research on you and just things I mightn't have known.
Yeah.
And I came across the interview that you did with Aaron Molan on the Footy Show, you and Kira Lee.
Yeah.
And I remember watching it, and you got to remember, I've seen this too, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. Mate, I was just bawling my eyes out because since joining Air Locker, and obviously I grew up, supporting the Knights and yourself, but we've formed a really good friendship over the last couple of months, and I was just bawling my eyes out. But it was such an inspirational story. She covered that really well. But just to see you guys as a family unit, and to be talking about the challenges that you guys have come through. But my next question is, and you touched on it just a second ago, the Mark Hughes Foundation. How incredibly proud are you of creating that? That's such an amazing thing. And it's not just footy based, it's just Australian wide.
Just phenomenal what's happened. From wearing a beanie during my rehab, I just felt that that beanies and brain cancer go really good together. I had that warrior in Kira Lee that wanted to help push this foundation. Could have sat on the lounge, hope someone find an answer, or and would have been probably an easier option. But Kira Lee and I chose to step up, maybe try and make our own luck by finding an answer to brain cancer. And the stakes are really high here, so it's not hard to find the energy and find the passion to try and sort it out. Because when the stakes are so high, life or death, you find that energy. And our idea started with just friends and family, and quickly grew. And the beanies were probably that's been our huge hook. It's really got people in.
Can you remember your first beanie?
Yeah, sure can. I designed it.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got them all.
I designed the first one. It was red and blue. Sold well in Newcastle. Not too well anywhere else.
Can you remember the first beanie for brain cancer round with the NRL?
Yeah, that was magical. And there was a guy in Sydney, Matt Callender, the Channel 9, that was very influential in helping put that together for us. He lost his battle. But yeah, the NRL have been amazing. The media, the players, the rugby league community, to make that round so special. We're just so grateful. And I got to say, just what Kira Lee's done and our little small team of MHF are just awesome. And then the volunteers and the people like yourself that buy beanies. And,
mate, I'll be buying one every year.
It's just so special.
Amazing.
So from selling our first beanie, we've now raised over $20 million. And that's a lot of money. We've got a lot of research going on right across Australia. Like I say, we're not saving to buy a house here. We're trying to find a cure to brain cancer, and we're in a hurry to do it. We've got 4 brain cancer care nurses that any person that's gone through brain cancer will tell you they're like angels, what they do. So we're very proud of this, and it's been a really great change to take the focus off yourself and focus on finding the cure.
Giving you a drive. Really good. Not only do you do the brain cancer research with the beanies, but you've done 4 Kokoda tracks. How amazing is that?
That's been great.
If anyone that goes in the air locker with Katara, and I see it every day, I'm very lucky to see it, but you've got all your tracks you've done up on the wall, and the amount of money you've raised per experience. How amazing is that?
Yeah, I put those up on the wall because I wanted our team in there to realise that sometimes you've got to tackle mountains, and and you've got to aim high, and you learn a lot about being out in the mountains. You learn about putting one foot in front of the other and just continuing to move forward. Not too quick, and that's what life's about, just one foot in front of the other. And there was times where I looked too far ahead, looked at the stream, and I remember tripping over rocks and falling over because I was looking too far ahead. And you just learn so much on those mountains about teamwork, camaraderie, it's just such a special thing to be a part of, mate. And we've seen and met some amazing people and raised a lot of money with that, and it's something special, and all sorts of people have done it with me.
Well, I'll tell you what, when COVID's over and we're allowed to travel again, and you do your next one, I'll say it on here now.
Yep.
The next one you do, I'm coming with you.
Deal.
Because 100%, I'll even shake your hand on it. Done, mate.
You saw
But
that.
yeah, because honestly, every time I go to Air Locker, I've seen the images. Every time I look at it, I always find something different, or I get something else out of it. So, mate, I reckon it's unbelievable.
I'd love to have you, mate.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to do that.
It's great to challenge yourself, and I'd say to anyone out there, if you get the opportunity, go to Kokoda.
Yeah.
You know, get out of your comfort zone, achieve something. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
There's a struggle.
Yeah.
But you get through the other side. It's just
How rewarding to get to that.
Yeah.
Get that where your goal is.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
The last piece I want to touch on before we get to the fun stuff. Air Locker. How did we get there?
Yeah, wow. So training towards Mount Kilimanjaro last year, there was an Air Locker opening up in Newcastle, so I went over and I met Roman and the team. All the team come there. We love training there. I became a partner in Air Locker and really just love everything about it. And then Kiralee and I thought, let's start a Katara one up. We thought it'd be great, and that's what we've done.
Is it true that you went home and just told her? You didn't ask her?
Oh no, I asked her.
No,
So
joking.
yeah, I asked her, but you know, now that I've done the foundation, I see what the power of helping people and making a difference. I'm not going to waste my time on anything other than that type of stuff. And Air Locker makes a difference. You know, it changes people's lives.
Yeah. Well, it's changed my life in 7 weeks. Put it that way.
That is awesome. That's the kind of thing that I love to hear, and that makes it worthwhile. And I put teams together and people together and community together. It just ticks all those boxes. So I love to be a part of that, and I love everything about it. You walk out feeling better, and that's what life's about.
You really do.
And there's a sign there saying "Make today count."
Yeah. See it just before you walk in.
And I put that in because I realised in my journey that I can't change. You realise as well. We can't change yesterday.
No.
We can't change the last 18 months, but we can wake up tomorrow and change tomorrow, and then we can make that day count. So if you live like that, you're going to have a better life, and we get so bogged down with the past, and then sometimes some of us are always just looking too far into the future when we just need to make today count and make it work today.
One day at a time.
Yeah, wake up tomorrow, let's do it again. And then we get this momentum going and we start to live our life for now, because it could be the best part of your life, but you're not present enough to really appreciate it. So we learnt that. Kirill and I and the family, we've done some awesome things. So we just want to make it count, and it's a really good way to live.
You were talking just before about surrounding yourself with the right people, and for me, I just want to say a big congratulations to you guys. Firstly, opening Air Locker Katara, and I've just mentioned it, it's really helped change my life. But the people that you've brought to the place, whether it's the trainers, the people that train there, you've created such an amazing environment already. And I bought in. I remember saying to you the first session, this is me, I'm here.
Yeah.
I love it. It was amazing. I was part of that very first 5:15 class that we did. But the relationships that I've built, not only with yourself, but the trainers and the support that you guys have given me with my photography and even this podcast has been unbelievable. But to walk in every day, like you said, it's not just about the physical side of it and getting through your gym session. It's the social side of it as well. And you walk outside and you just feel so accomplished each day, because like I said, we've really created a really special friendship already, and a really cool culture. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, different body sizes, different level of fitnesses. Everyone's welcome, and we all just help each other. You might be a new member, and we all just get around the new people. Even we push it, even the current ones, we all push each other.
Yeah.
There was one the other day. I'll quickly touch on this one. You were behind me, and we're doing the boxing to the cardio. And there was a boxing part. Anyway, I always put my box to the highest point as I can, and I knew you were behind me, but I'll be polite and I'll put it back down to the normal level. And I just remember I was absolutely blowing, and I remember turning around. You go, anything you can do, I can do. Flipped it back up, and I look in the mirror and I see you jumping up to the highest point. And how good's that? Yeah,
and that's what it's about, being part of a team and a group. And the thing about training by yourself is you always come first, don't you? So in this group environment, you're pushed. And I talk about surrounding yourself with great people. Well, our members are such great people. And then I look at Jess, who runs our studio.
How good's Jess? She's a legend.
And then I look at Mark, Sam, and Yolanda. Just great people that want to help, want to make a difference. And that's all I was doing, is looking for good people, and that's what we found, and couldn't be happier with the environment.
Yeah.
And
well, I think the 4 trainers you picked are absolutely perfect for that gym.
Yeah,
So,
no, I appreciate it, mate.
thank
We
you.
love having you there, and it's exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm there for the long haul. I love it.
Yeah, it's good.
Let's move into a bit of fun stuff.
Yep.
So I've created 10 for 10.
Okay.
So 10 questions
Yeah.
for $10. So you can go buy yourself a coffee and
nice.
banana bread or what you want to
So
buy.
if I answer 10, I'll get the $10.
I'll give you the 10. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
Is that okay?
Yeah, done.
All right. What's your favourite food?
Chicken, I think. I've always liked chicken, you know, whether it's in a stir-fried dish or KFC or
Bit of protein.
Yeah, I love chicken.
All right. If you're going to have me over
Yeah.
and 3 other people, anyone you want, over for dinner,
Yeah.
who would they be? Why would they be? And what are you going to cook us?
Okay. I always love sport, and I mentioned cricket and rugby league, so I'll invite a cricketer and a rugby league from my junior days that I looked up to. I have since gone on to know both of them, which is a wonderful thing. And so I'm going to invite Steve Wall. Was a real tough competitor that I looked up to as a youngster.
Yep.
And I'm going to invite Peter Sterling. I just was a Parramatta when I was really young, I'll invite little Sterlo over. And I'm going to bring Kira Lee along as well. I don't think it's fair that I leave her at home.
She
can
amazing.
drive. She can be the driver if I have a couple of drinks. She won't like that.
She got me out too.
And then what am I going to? Good seafood would be good.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah, happy with that.
I'm more than happy
A few
with that.
prawns, oysters. Right, we'll work on that.
I like that. We can do that. I reckon we could almost organise that.
Good.
Obviously, being in the NRL, you would have met some really cool people in your time. Who was the most famous person you had the privilege to meet?
Yeah. So I met Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, he was lucky enough to get a photo with me. No, I got a photo with him.
Yeah. Did he have his shirt
Yeah,
on?
that was in 2005, I think, when I was playing over there. We went and watched Manchester United train and got a photo with him, Rooney, then you saw all them blokes. It was awesome.
Wow.
But they were great. So, that was a great experience.
Okay, cool. What was your first car?
A little blue Laser. So I used to drive that around. Had a little kill switch in it. I remember when you turn it on, you had the special secret switch.
Yep.
Because, lasers were just, so no one could flog it. I had this special little security thing for my car.
Handy.
Yeah.
Especially in Curry?
Yeah, well, mate, no one in
exactly.
Curry. When I went to other areas like Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your first job?
Well, not many people know this, but I was actually a drug peddler. I'm proud of it. It's just a dark time. So I used to go to the chemist, and then they'd give me all the prescriptions for the old ladies, and I would ride my bike and deliver to, Joycey and Barbara and Beryl.
I had a couple of mates who did that.
Yeah, that was my...
On their pushy?
Yep, and I'd deliver to those, and I'd have a chat, so that was my first job.
If you could swap jobs with anyone in the world right now, who would you swap jobs for and why?
Well, Donald Trump, he's now got no job, so he'll be, and he's got plenty of money. I reckon it'd be good to be in his shoes now.
Just kick back.
Kick back, he's got all them motels.
Yep.
And maybe Donald's.
I'm happy with that. As long as you're not starting any riots. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received in your life?
I think treat others like you'd like to be treated. I think the respect, and no matter who it is, and be present on who you meet, and that's sort of a way that I've looked at it. And you can have one little contact with someone, and if it's negative, they won't forget that, so I think just treating people like you'd like to be treated.
I reckon that's absolutely perfect. What is Mark Hughes' most prized possession?
Well, so you know what, the family, 3 kids, Kira Lee, 2 dogs, a cat, a pet horse for Bonnie, a racehorse. Unfortunately, the racehorse is slower than Bonnie's pet horse. So we've got a bit happening there, but we've got Kira Lee bought me a British Bulldog, so I love Clifford.
Clifford was in the gym at Christmas
yeah,
time.
Cliffy,
What a
he could
legend.
use some time in the gym, he's a nugget.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot happening there.
Nah, fair enough. Growing up, who was your hero?
Sporting heroes, I love cricket. Probably who I named. So real early on, Parramatta, and then some cricketers. So they were probably who I bring in for dinner. Were probably my heroes early on.
No worries at all. Do you have any superstitions? And if you do, did you have any when you were playing as well?
I used to love getting to the ground and straight into the rooms to tape my ankles up, and then I'd go and sit out and watch the lower grade games. That was just something I liked doing.
Just to get the atmosphere.
Yeah, so that was good. Other than that, these days I haven't got too many superstitions. I like to sit down when I'm having dinner, but I think we all do, don't we? So it's not very superstition.
No, that's fair enough. I've got a bonus question. I know I said 10.
Well, do I get $11?
I didn't even... yeah, I'll give you the extra $1. Kira Lee asked me to whack this in, actually. But how did you guys meet?
So Newcastle races one day. So I went to there on a Saturday afternoon, and just we're in there, and we in the same spot, knew a few mutual friends, and so went to the races to back a winner. But I ended up getting Kira Lee. What would I rather, Kira Lee or a big winner?
I think you've got a big winner there.
Yeah, I think I've got a winner anyway. Yeah, so talk about your choices you make. I chose to go to the races that day, met Kira Lee, and haven't looked back. I was about 25 at the time. Yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. I've actually today I put up. I think of it. Congratulations, there's your $10.
Oh, thank you.
Well done, mate. You done 10 for 10.
I
actually put a poll up today with just some people that follow my Instagram page. Just thought I'd put it out, and I picked the 3 best questions I thought that people put up. They just wanted to ask you, so why not?
Yeah.
So the first question I've got here was, what made you open up Air Locker, and what's your favourite part of being associated with Air Locker?
Yeah, just to see people live their best life, give them every opportunity, and I think doing training at Air Locker, you give yourself a chance of making today count by feeling better in yourself. And I love seeing people walk through the door. They're a little nervous, they're feeling good, but I love seeing them walk out smiling, sucking in the big ones, but knowing that they've really done a tough session.
It's an accomplishment,
and they feel better, and they've an achievement. And I love the community and the camaraderie. And you play a big part in this around the reception before they go in. Just cool. People chatting, people that don't know each other before this now are friends, connecting people. Mate, it's a really great thing to be a part of.
No, you've done really well. Next question was, what was your motivation to get out of bed each day during your recovery?
I think the people around me. I had a lot to live for, and it's an ongoing battle. I get scans every 4 months, and I've had an amazing run. But I've won the first battle, but the war on brain cancer continues. I get scans every 4 months. So I'm still fighting. I've got a lot to fight for, and I won't stop fighting. And that's it. Through the foundation, we're gonna find a cure, and I firmly believe that we are going to get a cure, and we're going to create history and find that cure. And I visualise that, just like I did as a kid, visualising footy, and I constantly think about that because we've got to find a cure for it. So that's a big thing that drives me.
Most definitely. Well, I'm in your corner, mate. Yeah. I've got you all the way. Last question, and I know this one will mean a lot to you, but what does family mean to you?
Yeah, it's without having family around, and that's including parents and all my parents and all that, wouldn't be where I am today. Yeah. But particularly Kira Lee, when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and she really stepped it up when things happen, and she runs the foundation. She does a lot of stuff behind the scenes with Air Locker. She's like, I come up with a lot of ideas and stuff, and she puts them together.
She's the rock, isn't she?
Yeah, that's right. So you've got to have a good team around you, mate. I've had good teams around me all my life, and whether it's family now or whether it's Air Locker, really, really grateful to have good people around me.
How good's that? Mate, one of the last things I want to do, and I'm going to introduce it throughout the podcast, I've actually got a blank canvas here. What I was going to get you to do, I've got this here. Basically what I'm going to get you to do is, can you put a quote that you live your life by? Whack that on there, and just sign it as wherever you want, mate. And can you just let everyone know the quote that you have decided to put on the blank canvas?
You walk into this every day, and I at the gym is make today count. And like we said, we can't control what's happened, but we can try and control what happens today. By the way we tackle situations, our attitude, the way we treat people. If you spend your life thinking about how you make people feel, your life will be a lot better. because I've learnt that by really wanting to make people feel good around you, your life's better. And I think just making today count covers a lot of things, and it's very important, and I know you understand that.
I do, yeah.
I'm happy to.
Absolutely love seeing that as you're walking every day.
And
Perfect.
love to start the canvas, mate. It's not a blank canvas
How
anymore.
good's that? That's so good. I'll get that there. That's fantastic. Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. Well, mate, I can't thank you enough for, coming on.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for what you've done for me in the last few months personally.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, and I really hope that everyone that listens to this gets something out of it, because you're an absolute inspiration, and it's true what they say about you. You're an amazing person, and just an absolute gentleman. And it's an absolute privilege. So, keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, there's so many people in your corner. And like I said, I know I can only speak for myself, but I know there's millions of other people that will keep supporting the Mark Hughes Foundation. And one of my favourite rounds of the year is the Beanies with Brain Cancer. And we even do it at West. We run out last year with it on, and we'll do everything we possibly can as well, and always will. So keep up the amazing work, mate. And
Matty, you've had a huge impact in the Air Locker with everyone. So
thank you.
I didn't hesitate to come here. You've done a great job for one. For the first one, I can't wait to see number 30. You're going to be unbelievable.
We'll see.
It's been a great chat, mate.
Thank you.
To the listeners, thanks for supporting the Mark Hughes Foundation and myself. It's look out for our new beanies for next year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Matty, great job, and it's been a pleasure to start it off with you, mate.
Thank you so much. And just before we finish, I just want to thank Table One Espresso at Warners Bay. George and the crew, they've been amazing, allowing us to come into their restaurant here. And how about the views? It's amazing,
Right.
So make sure you guys come on down, grab a coffee, get a feed, brekkie, lunch. Also, thanks to Brad and Maxie here from Little Pigs Creative.
Absolutely.
They've done amazing behind the scenes here with the camera crew, and they're amazing. I can't wait to see the footage from today. And mate, it's flown by. But thank you so much.
Great job.
You're an
mate.
absolute legend.
Great job.
And podcast number 1 is
Done.
officially done. Thank you so much, guys. Listen out for this podcast. It's going to be great.